We talk it out, no time to waste. Ooh, yeah. Face to face, we set the pace. Hey, hey. Love so strong, no need to race. We hold it tight in every space, making it last. Oh, making it last. Yeah, yeah. Through the future, through the past. Building it high, keeping it fast. Communication, making it last. Making it last. Oh, making it last. Yeah, yeah. Through the future, through the past. Building it high, keeping it fast. Communication, making it last.
It's time for another conversation. Welcome to Making It Last, where it's all about helping us to have better relationships, not just with ourselves, with other people. How can silence be dangerous in a relationship? That's what we're going to unpack this time around. And to do that is a strengths coach, David Kiwimagi. Did I get it right, David?
You nailed it.
Okay, good. Good. All right, so before we unpack that topic, though, tell us what a strengths coach is.
Fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
Strengths coach, there is
Mm-hmm.
a psychological assessment called the Gallup Strengths Finder. There
Okay.
are there are many personality assessments out there, but there's
Mm-hmm.
only one like Gallup. And I get asked this question a lot. How is it different? Well, first off, the Gallup Strengths Finder is not really a personality assessment. It's a talent assessment.
Okay.
Everybody on the planet has innate talents. Some things like empathy, communication, command, discipline, consistency, and these
Mm-hmm.
natural talents that everybody has, they're different for everybody, which means one person may be good at one thing while another person's not good at it, and vice versa. And so by using the Gallup Strengths Finder as like the core foundation of what we use, we are
Mm-hmm.
actually able to see the innate talents of couples and how they
Mm-hmm.
communicate. It's really enlightening to show couples how they're different and why they do what they do, because it leads to a lot of oh, that's why you drive me nuts moments.
Ah, okay.
Because when you can have good communication and good
Mm-hmm.
clarity and understand
Mm-hmm.
each other, you can accomplish anything.
Okay. And you keep saying we. That would be you
Me and my
and
beautiful wife, Alexis.
okay.
We
Okay.
coach together and it has been amazing. I actually retired from my corporate job and went full blown working with my wife in Kiwi coaching. So now I get to tell everybody I work for my wife.
How long have you been doing this?
We have been coaching with strengths for about 3 years.
Okay.
And prior to that, though, we went through it ourselves because our story was really born out of, or our coaching was born out of our story and our pain and the struggles we went through as a couple.
Interesting. That's interesting. So this is not just something you do. This is something you've actually basically lived through, so to
Hands
speak.
down. Yeah.
Okay. Which is a nice segue then into what we're going to be unpacking, which is how can silence be dangerous in a relationship? How?
Absolutely. Silence can be deadly and can
Mm-hmm.
destroy things. It's like if you ever have mold in your house and you're just like, oh, I'll just ignore it. It doesn't go away, it grows. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
beneath the surface, behind the walls. And this was really true for me and my wife. In the beginning of our marriage, my wife, at like, this is like year one. We've been married many, many years now, but year
Mm-hmm.
one, I asked my wife to make my favorite meal, which was lasagna. I didn't tell her that my mom had made my favorite meal every year for my birthday. So I was kind of looking, I had an unspoken expectation, which was not fair to her at all. But she took the
Mm-hmm.
challenge on. She made me a handmade recipe from her grandmother. It was phenomenal, but it didn't taste like the way my mom's did. And so I just kept silent and didn't say anything. I didn't even say thank you.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm just being honest. I
Wow.
totally blew it. And
Okay.
this was like when we look back on it, we didn't see that as a big of a deal then, but looking back on it, we see like, oh my gosh, this was a huge problem that went on for years. So, fast forward 6 years into our marriage, and we were really struggling to communicate with each other because we just didn't understand each other. We didn't understand
Mm-hmm.
our differences. Our natural
Mm-hmm.
talents are totally different. We didn't know that at the
Mm-hmm.
time. And
Mm-hmm.
this went on, it really got bad around 10 years of marriage. 10 years of marriage is when me and my wife started the side business together while I was still
Okay.
working a job.
Okay.
And everything changed with that. One, financially, as you know, starting a business is very hard.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot that went on at that time was our love for each other started to dissipate. You know, a hallway meeting where you like, sneak a kiss from your spouse in the hallway. Those hallway encounters turned into client meetings of like, hey, did you talk to so and so? Did you get this done for the business?
Wow.
Date nights turned into project management meetings. And I'll quote my wife. She said at that time, she's like, I hated date night with you. It was awful. It was so hard. And we were just drifting farther and farther apart because we didn't know how to communicate. And
Mm-hmm.
when tension rose, we just went silent. Well, that silence eventually exploded. And there was a moment where we just weren't getting along, and I decided to move out. Not even out of the house. I was just going to move to the basement where I was working and just like figure it
Mm-hmm.
out. My wife said that was the defining moment. I knew that something had to change. And so my wife came to me and she said, we should get coaching. Well, in 2017, I buried 11 people, including my own daughter, and had to go through a bunch of therapy. That was painful, painful. And I looked at her
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, I don't want therapy. I want a solution. And then I realized she said coaching, not counseling. I was like, okay, that's different. So I was like, you know what? Something's got to change. We got to change. So
Mm-hmm.
we went through coaching ourselves, and that was a strengths coach. They specialize in network marketers, but through that coaching, we finally understood each other. Our marriage wasn't like boom, instantly fixed in 8 weeks, but it was like, oh my gosh, for the first time in my life, I finally get you. So then we spent the next 5 years studying each other. We paid tens of thousands of dollars in coaching. We started researching it. We got certified in it. We started learning more about each other, going to marriage conferences, doing podcasts
Mm-hmm.
together. Every once in a while, we get the privilege of doing a podcast together with when we have a babysitter, and it is amazing. And through it all, we learned some key things that silence kills, but clear communication builds. And so for us, when you
Mm-hmm.
understand why the other person does what they do, or
Mm-hmm.
what go quiet when they go quiet, it opens the door to a whole new possibility of working together. And so my wife came to me a couple years ago, and she's
Mm-hmm.
like, "We have the best marriage in the world now." I was like, "I know, it's awesome." Oh, like I
Okay.
love this. And she said,
Do,
we need to do this for other couples. And that's how Kiwi
nice.
Coaching was born. Is we started doing it for other couples and we started teaching them and other leaders and managers on how to rock your business and your marriage without sacrificing either one.
Hmm. Do you think though that at any point silence, well, can be a positive? Let me tell you what I mean by that. There are some people when an issue comes up, they react rather than stop and think and respond. And sometimes that actually, you know, creates a rift more than anything else. So do you think at some point, sometimes silence can be used in a positive way for relationships?
100%. So silence is, if I was just to define it, just being
Mm-hmm.
quiet, right? Just
Okay.
being quiet itself is not bad. Perfect
Mm-hmm.
example. Me as a public speaker, I've been doing keynote speaking for a while and I love it. When you say something profound, you
Mm-hmm.
need to stop and pause to
Right.
allow your audience to absorb the thing you just said.
Mm-hmm.
That pause is critical. So silence is
Mm-hmm.
actually golden.
Mm-hmm.
In our coaching, one of the things that we teach people is people are wired differently. Some people, like my wife, is a
Mm-hmm.
strategic thinker. She is
Right.
really good at thinking and learning and coming up with ideas. Well, because
Mm-hmm.
of that, she needs silence or time
Okay.
specifically to think of an answer. And so if I demand an answer from her right now, she's not going to be able to give me a good one because of the way her brain's wired.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But just like you just said, I'm the opposite. My wife is a deep thinker. I don't think, I just speak.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
And so
Okay.
you're right. Sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
especially when answering a tough question, or in our
Mm-hmm.
coaching sessions, my wife will actually tap me. We have a secret tap code, and
Mm-hmm.
two taps is shut up. And so she's like, stop it, let him think, let it process,
Right.
because in
Right.
that time of silence is great. Now, silence, just ignoring a problem, hoping it'll go away, that's not helpful.
Okay.
Also,
Okay.
and some people grow up with this, I know my wife did. Some people use silence as a weapon. I'm going to ignore you and deprive you of my voice because you hurt me or did something wrong. And so silence is a brick. You can build a hospital with it or a school, or you could throw it through somebody's window. What are you going to do with it?
We talk it out, no time to waste. Ooh, yeah. Face to face, we set the pace. Hey, hey. Love so strong, no need to race.
Hey, everybody, this is David Kiwimagi with Kiwi Coaching here on the Making It Last podcast. An amazing opportunity lies before us. We're going to talk into some deep things, but real quick, a word from our partners.
From logos to flyers, business cards to invitations, J Designs is your one-stop shop for all things design related. Fast, affordable, creative, and one of a kind? Follow us on Instagram at JDesigns. Email us at jdesigns.graphics@gmail.com or WhatsApp us at 876-280-2816. And let J Designs make your creative dreams come to life.
I recently have been coached by the great Miss Noreen Daly.
This woman has been full of moments of, I see your potential and I see your dreams that you're afraid to dream. So let's get there and let's do it.
Noreen was the one who recognized my flaw, but she didn't leave it there. She led me along the journey of developing my communication skills.
She was able to point out some of my weaknesses that I didn't yet notice.
She exposed me to so many fundamental pillars of communication.
I pray that you have people in your life who are as supportive as she is, who are as much of a gift as she is.
And I 100% recommend Miss Noreen Daly as your coach.
The truth is, I am who I am today because of Noreen's coaching.
Find her. Seriously, find her.
Services include communications consultancy, one-on-one coaching, public speaking and debate training, leadership and team building sessions, plus much more. Visit noreendaly.com for more info. Noreen Daly, redefining the way you communicate.
She's an MC for work or family, communicator with a remedy. Her service is high quality. Introducing Noreen Daly, host and founder of Making It Last, a fulfilling, engaging podcast. An exceptional woman for the task. Daily is the communication boss, the daily communicator. Will always make it greater and keep you reminiscing later. The daily communicator will always make it greater and keep you reminiscing later. Engaging, empowering, exceptional.
Welcome back, everybody. Let's jump right on into it.
We talk it out, no time to waste. Ooh, yeah. Face to face, we set the pace. Hey, hey. Love so strong, no need to race.
How can someone who is not sure then how to verbalize, and I'm not, this is not gender specific at all, because a lot of it happen, is connected to how people are socialized. So for somebody who they don't necessarily know how to verbalize their feelings, and to them, silence is almost like a defense, for want of a better word. What then do you say to somebody like that?
Oh my goodness. So that's me and my wife in a nutshell. I am very go, 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 talk all the time. You know what I'm thinking because I just told you. Whereas my wife, on the other hand, she has to process, she has to think about it. And so I've learned silence with her is not ignoring the question I just asked. It's her thinking.
Okay.
So there's two really particular strengths that come out. One of them is called deliberative. The other one's called activator. Deliberative people are really good at anticipating obstacles, thinking through things. They usually have another strength called analytical, where I want to understand the why. So when you ask that kind of a person a question, they immediately get into action and they're thinking. So they're in action between their ears. It may not be coming out, they may not get off the couch and do what you just asked. They're thinking about it. Whereas the opposite side of the spectrum, whereas like me, I have a strength called activator. Activators get an idea and they immediately want to put it into action. And so for an activator, when they're like, ooh, hey, honey, I have this great idea, and I give it to my wife, and then she doesn't move off the couch to go do it because I thought it was a great idea, I can feel hurt. Going, hey, wait a minute. Why aren't you moving? Don't you even think, whatever the insult that comes out, right? Because I felt disrespected that she didn't get into action. But she's not like me. She did go into action. She just did it between her ears. Here's the most powerful thing that I've learned. When you give people that are deep thinkers time to think, they will come up usually with a better idea than the original one I had.
Hmm. 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 Hmm.
That's resonating. I can tell.
Yeah. It is. It is. It is. It is. Do you, based on what you've garnered from coaching, do you think, and I'm going to be gender specific now, do you think it is that females tend to be the silent ones, say male-female relationship, as opposed to males, or not necessarily? Based
Not
on,
gender specific,
okay,
domain specific, yes. So let me explain.
okay.
In the Gallup Strengths Assessment, there's 34 unique strengths. The order of these strengths is unique to you. For example, if we just take the
Okay.
math, statistically speaking, the same two people having the same top 5 strengths in the same order is 1 in 33 million. So there is another Kiwi out there somewhere who's got the same strengths as me in the first 5. 1 in 7, though, in the same order is 1 in 8 billion.
Wow.
1 in 34 is 1 in like 10 to the 36th power level of dumbness. It is so statistically off that there really hasn't been anyone as unique as you, and there never will be. And that's what I love about strengths. Now, those strengths do fit into 4 categories of what we call the domains. And
Okay.
these are really fun because you can usually identify either this is you or someone you know real quick. The first category is executing.
Okay.
Executors like to get things done the right way.
Mm.
You know an executor when they know how to load the dishwasher right.
Okay.
Either that's you or you know someone like that. Like it matters. It
That
matters.
sounds like me, but I'm listening to hear the others.
Fair enough. And some people have 1 dominant domain, some people have 2. I've even met some people that have a bit of 3. So the second domain is influencing. These people love to move people forward. When they show up at work and somebody is stuck and they help them get out of their stuckness, whether that's a project literally stuck on the side of the road or whatever it is, they help them move and they're like, you are now successful. They feel good about themselves. Like, I love helping people move forward. And then the third one is relationship building. Relationship builders like to connect with the right people. They love to have conversations, meet new friends, build deep relationships with old friends. They love to have an opportunity to literally just sit down with a cup of coffee and just talk for the purpose of just connecting. Not necessarily getting anything done or doing a project, but just connecting with their friend. This is incredibly important to them. And then last but not least is strategic thinking. Strategic thinking, these people love to think, learn, and create. They love to read, acquire knowledge, relationships, store it together, come up with new ideas, have deep intellectual discussions. So when you have a relationship building strategic thinker, like my wife is, her idea of a good time is sitting at a coffee shop, having a deep intellectual discussion, not necessarily like doing something, but just building a deeper connection. She married me, whereas I am an influencing executor. I'm the total opposite. So for me, I'm like, let's get going. Let's move forward. Let's get things done. Here's the most beautiful part of what I realized in this. Relationships is getting something done. Studying and learning and coming up with new ideas is moving people forward. And I've had a whole new appreciation. Actually, I had to apologize to my wife a lot through coaching and saying, oh my gosh, I didn't know about these amazing skills that you had, and I was shutting them down. But now that I see them, I can value them. And this is huge in our business, in our marriage, with our kids and what we do. And so when you fit into one of those categories and you go, okay, that's totally me, and then you understand that somebody else is not like you can have a whole new appreciation for who they are and what they do.
Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. As we're wrapping up, David, if all that you said, people are saying that's a lot to process. I'm not sure if I'm there yet, because a lot of what you've said, it's going to take a lot of soul searching and self-awareness to be able to be open to then saying to somebody, hey, so I'm this way, you're that way, but then we can find a way to coexist. Because a lot of persons are not there. So a lot of them say, hey, this is how I am, you're going to have to just deal with me. That's how a lot of persons are. So if a lot of persons are still there, what would you want to say, of all what I've said, if you get nothing else, here is the core of my message.
Yeah. It took us 5 years to figure out and build what we built, and we condensed it to 12 weeks. If I could give one piece of information to help people at where they're at right here, right now, it honestly would be this. What you've been through in life has shaped who you are. You're born with unique talents and skills. You've acquired rules over life from your failures and your successes. You've discovered new opportunities, and you've honestly been through some stuff. But the stuff that you've been through, like the pressure that you thought would break you, it didn't break you. It built you. The heat, the comments, the backbiting, the things that have burned you didn't burn you. It forged you. And the cuts, the pieces where you feel like you lost a part of yourself, whether that was changing jobs or bearing a daughter, like I've done, the cuts didn't destroy you, they shaped you. Pressure, heat, and cuts is the same process that a diamond is made. And there are no two natural diamonds on this planet that are alike. They're all infinitely unique, like you. But a diamond in a dark room is nothing more than a sharp rock. When you step out into the light, you share your stories, and you tell people, this is who I am. This is what I'm capable of. And I know that you're different than me, and we can figure out how to work together. You become something beautiful, valuable, and unbreakable.
Excellent note to end on. Thank you so much for sharing, David.
My pleasure.
This was Making It Last podcast, where it's all about helping us to have better relationships, not just with ourselves, but with other people. I'm Noreen Daly. Until next time.
We talk it out, no time to waste. Face to face, we set the pace. Hey, hey. Love so strong, no need to race. We hold it tight in every space, making it last. Oh, making it last. Yeah, yeah. Through the future, through the past. Building it high, keeping it fast. Communication, making it last. Making it last. Oh, making it last. Yeah, yeah. Through the future, through the past. Building it high, keeping it fast. Communication, making it last.